my dream for that record the whole time was to eventually get Crazy Bone. So it was cool. It took a while for it to happen, but I have to just be patient. And from then to now, you see it's finally finished, complete, how it's supposed to be. Bone Thugs and Harmony is how I became a rapper. Like I was probably like 8 years old or something, discovering their music through like Notorious Thugs. That was my favorite song ever when I was a kid. So it's like, it's hard for it to feel real. But I remember the second I heard it, I'm like, damn, like he spit the exact verse that I would have wanted him to spit. I sent it to my dad, my mom, my grandparents and shit, because they was the ones that was watching me, what I'm saying, when I was a kid, singing all the Bone Thugs and Harmony lyrics. So I'm like, yeah, look, this happened. This sound like tube socks on Madison Ave, students acting bad up in the class. The second the beat was made, that's produced by Day Day Pivot and Daoud, I kind of knew the direction to go because it felt nostalgic. So I knew where verse-wise I would end up. I understand like scene setting and the importance of like creative writing. Like that's how I always grew up writing, where if I'm describing something, I'm talking in a way where I assume the listener just knows what I'm speaking of. And when you don't, you use your imagination to plug in certain things. When I think of the opening of this song, it's like, it sets the scene and really just brings you right to the exact moment that I'm talking about. Drop out with family, your ass. Lie like you plan on going back. We ain't got no time to relax. Work the only priority intact. I had a scholarship. Something ended up happening with my scholarship where I no longer had the same amount of money for my second year that I had in the first year. It wasn't my grades. I was getting better grades when I got to college than I was in high school when I got the scholarship. So I, to this day, have no idea how I lost that scholarship. But it ended up happening around the same time where I started taking my like music career and everything serious, where it felt like it was supposed to happen like that. And that's something that only a few of my family members understood. Posted on the porch shooting shit, had to run niggas shooting shit. I wish that the guys had shields, stoplights, clean the windshield, fiends would do it free for a feel. Had the same friends since I was Lil, used to hoop Poppy and Jaleel, Spooky bent the block and drop a tape. It's just like really, just shouting out to, people that were important to my upbringing, what I'm saying? This is just, it's such a neighborhood tale. One of the titles that I considered for the song, instead of Come My Way, was calling it a poverty song. And I just wanted to tell that story, what that was like. It's fiends, it's shooting, it's all of this, but it's still so beautiful. Like, it's not dark. And I wanted to offer the juxtaposition. I feel like when we talk about tales and being in the hood, it's like, it's always painted as this pitch black nightmare. Every day was terrible and we had to shoot everybody. Like it was, like they were beautiful days where we just wake up and the first thing on our mind is playing basketball or like, shit like that. And that, to me, that sense of nostalgic just reflection is really at the heart of this song. Talk to Walt and watch fly away, multiply my problems by the day. Losing Walt in 2017 was always fresh on my mind, like somebody that I see every day, somebody that's just supposed to be there, not there. And it's just like, it happened so quick in the song where I didn't want to dwell in it, but I just wanted to acknowledge it. West side chillin' with a faithful, knock it out the pockets like the bass low. I'ma get it booming like a metro. Me, I'm getting to it how I'm meant to. The signs that like, I think I was meant to get to this shit. Like when I think of that, it's like pretty easy because it's like, if we wasn't supposed to be here, we would not be here. As far as this career, this life, it's hard to doubt it. It just feels like a calling, like the beginning of a calling too, because I think I'm just getting started, to be honest. Well, blood, I mean, the vessel, I'ma tell him to be careful, cause the copper wanna kill him and the family in the ghetto from the bottom of the barrel. I'ma run it like a pharaoh, nigga. This is for the peasants who be worried about the peso, peso, peso. When I say blood, I mean the vessel, I'm talking to my family and my bloodline, And I'm gonna tell my family to be careful. We already acknowledged that we could lose family. So now it's like, I'm gonna tell my people to be careful. And when I say multiply my problems by the day, new problems are introduced here where now it's not just the neighborhood, but now we gotta worry about the cops and all type of other shit. And when I say I'm gonna run it like the Pharaoh, it's just like, that's just resilience. You know what I'm saying? Like I think everybody that I know from Chicago, it's like you almost born resilient. Like you have to be. And then I say this for the peasants who be worried about the peso, and that is back into that A Poverty Song title that I was gonna potentially go with. But to me, that was just like, this is for everyone who can relate to this because of poverty. Because that's what every scenario that's introduced, you know, from the tube socks on Madison to dropping out of school to losing people that we love to telling your family to be safe to playing ball in the backyard, all of this is a direct result of poverty. Daydream thinking how to get some money, and then we good, and then we good, and then we'll be good. All I'm doing thinking how to get some money, and then we good, and then we good, and then we'll be good. I'm constantly, even to this day, like trusting my imagination to get me to where I want to be. When I think of daydreaming, I think most of that is imaginative. Kind of considered like manifestation almost, you know what I'm saying? Because that's just what we was doing. We was just, it wasn't real, it wasn't tangible, but we felt in our heart that everything we was gonna do was gonna work and was gonna pay off and we was gonna be good. Tell him I am on my way, dollar bill come my way, dollar bill come my way, dollar bill come my way. Tell him I am on my way, dollar bill come my way, dollar bill come my way, dollar bill come my way. This song actually has a place in time, like I'm describing a time period. But by this part of the song, it's like, it positions it as like a glimmer of hope. That was something that was important for me with this song. Like I didn't want it to be sad and like depressing describing these things, but I wanted the fact that this is temporary. Like I'm on my way. We on our way to somewhere better. Like I wanted that to really shine through. And what it kind of became to me was come my way, and then I'm describing my way, just around my way. And you know, it ended up working out. I made Come My Way actually right after Care For Me. That was 2018. My plan was honestly to drop 2 albums that year, but Care For Me ended up doing really well, and it was like, relax.